Hi Flosstube, it's April from April May June Stitching. I hope everybody's okay. It's been about 5 weeks since my last video, so I thought it was about time I will do another one. I've had a very busy October, so I haven't really managed to get as much stitching as I would like to have done, and you'll also have to forgive me, I've got a cold, so I sound a bit nasally and bunged up, but we'll just go with that. So in October I was working on Halloween Quaker by Lila's Studio. If you can remember, I'm doing this on 36 count Murky, which is the called for fabric but in a different count. And this is where I am so far. I absolutely love this. I didn't get as much done as I would have liked, but I was quite pleased with my progress. I didn't want to put this down, and I do think I will continue with it over the next couple of months or so. Me and Rebecca from Hedgerow Stitching started a stitch along Vintage Birds by Jeanette Douglas. We started this on the 1st of November, or I started this on the 1st of November, but I think Rebecca's been very busy with a beautiful quilt that she's making. I'm doing this on 36 count brush by Picture This Plus. So I did, if you can see the peacock, there were 43 Algerian eyelets in that peacock. Yeah, I didn't necessarily enjoy doing all of them. I did enjoy doing the speciality stitches, but I don't know whether I would want to do 43 of them again. I started the alphabet. It's very light thread because I've gone for quite a dark fabric, but I do actually quite like how they show up on there. I quite like that they look quite faded. I'm not sure if you'll remember, but I went to New York in October and I took a little project with me for the plane, which was I don't know why I'm showing you this, but Lizzie Kate mystery sampler Spirit of Christmas. The journey was absolutely awful, so I only managed to get this little bit done. There was so much turbulence, and then on the way back it was a night flight, so people didn't really appreciate the little light above being on when they wanted to go to sleep. I'm not a big fan of sleeping apparently anyway, especially on a plane. I just can't do it, so I had to watch films instead. Yesterday I fancied doing something Christmassy, so I picked up my December wordplay by With Thy Needle and Thread. I bought this pattern on eBay, and that's the only picture I got from the pattern, so I made my own cover sheet so I could see what it looked like in full. I'd already done the Santa when I first started it in April, I think it was, and I've just managed to do some of the words. I just need to fill in his face. I actually unpicked his face and his beard because I re-dyed the fabric because I wanted something a bit more grungy than what I had, so that took on all the dye of the Rick dye that I used, so I just restitched it in with a brighter white. I just need to pick a different flesh tone for his face because you couldn't really tell the difference between the two. I'd also like to give some thank yous out to some people who've given me a shout out on Flosstube that I didn't realise that they had until I watched their video, so I apologise about that. But that was Kerry in Stitches. She started Flosstube about the same time as me. And then there's Lollipop Stitches, who lives in Coventry, and SoCal Stitcher as well. I'm sure loads of people have seen her. She did on her last video a great big whip parade of everything that she'd done. I'd also like to say thank you to Red Rose Ruth on Instagram. She sent me a private message telling me how much she liked my videos, and that she was sorry that I'd been getting some horrible messages on Instagram when my old username was in use, which was Brummy Stitcher before. But since I've changed it, I've had no messages or bother from anyone, so that's good. But she sent me the this scissor fob that she made herself from semi-precious beads, and then some counting pins as well. There is a third one, but I'm using that on a project. But aren't they beautiful? I was so overwhelmed when they came in the post, and I just thought it was really sweet of her. And I don't expect anybody to send me anything at all, and I get really embarrassed if somebody does want to send me something. I'm fine doing it the other way, but I do get really embarrassed that somebody sends me something. And I'm hoping, Ruth, that you did get my thank you card in the post. Ruth sent me a lovely card along with the scissor fob and the counting pins, and with a lovely message on it, and we were having a conversation on private message on Facebook, which was lovely. It was just so kind of you, Ruth. Thank you so much. And I am using them, and I did. It was packaged absolutely beautifully, and I did say to her, I don't want to take them out of the packages, and she said, no, enjoy them and use them. So I am, and I've got my scissor fob on my scissors, so I am using it. So thank you very much again. I also wanted to say thank you to Christina of Whilst Iris Naps on Instagram. She commented on my very first Flosstube video, and I don't even know what it was, but we were just messaging each other backwards and forwards, and then she joined Instagram, which I was really pleased about, and we've been private messaging each other ever since. And she is like, it's like we were twins of other mothers, really, and we're so similar and same sense of humour, and I really do feel like she's my stitching best friend, albeit she's a bit reluctant because apparently she's already got a best friend that she seems to like a little bit more than me, but what's a girl to do? We even share the same birthday. It's just all very weird, and we've just really clicked, and it's so nice to be able to chat about stitching and randomly text, randomly message her with, you know, I don't even have to say hi, how are you, and all the rest of it. You can just message her. I can just message her with, oh, what do you think about this? And I absolutely love that, because it is really hard not to have a friend, a good friend who isn't into the same as you, and that's really what I found that I've got with Christina. And I'm tittering now just because of some of the conversations we've had. I just love it, and it's so nice to have found that, and I would never have known that she was out there if I hadn't have done a Flosstube video. So I'm really grateful to that, for the, you know, yeah, I think she's great. But anyway, she messaged me as well asking for my address, and my immediate reaction was, you're not going to send me a chart, are you? She's like, no, I promise, which was a lie. But she sent me this card. She's got the neatest handwriting, but she also sent me some Jude Designs fabric, Bloody Halloween this is called, and she'd put a little message saying, if I'm trying this, you are too. And she also sent me some threads, which is Melting Snow and Black Raven, both by ex Jude Designs, and they're lovely, they're really nice. But then she also sent me this Alice chart by Ari TM with a little note saying Sal ? A smiley face, which it just, I don't know, she just really tickles me. And this this chart, she actually had 2 copies of it, so she sent me the other one, and I absolutely love it. We were going to start a sale together, but I wanted to start Vintage Birds first and get on with that, and then I will pick up Alice later on this month if I can. Christina has already started hers and it looks beautiful already, and she's doing hers on her purple fabric, but I've decided to do mine on a piece of Chromatic Alchemy Cassia Rose. I bought this as a second, and it's 28 count, because somewhere on here is, oh yeah, it was in her seconds because of this tiny dot here, so it's quite a big piece, so that it just about fits, so that's good. Yeah, we both thought that the called for fabric, you couldn't really see the bunny, sorry about the glare, you couldn't really see the bunny on it, so we've both gone for completely different shades of colours of fabric. And I also know SoCal Stitcher has managed to get a copy of this, and she started hers already as well, and it is looking great. No, I've not been watching Flosstube for a couple of years. I've only just picked it up this year, so I have got quite a few people to get through, which I love, because when there's like 50 or 60 videos, it means I can just watch one after the other rather than having to wait each week or each month for a new update. I love that. So where's my book? I just wanted to make a mention of the people who I've been watching this month. So it's Buckeye Stitcher and Heidi Cran, Handmade. Now Handmade has got an Instagram account by the same name, and it's Han, H-A-N, and then Made, M-A-Y-D-E, because her name is Hannah May, and I quite like that as a username. I think it's really clever. But she's only done, is it 2 or 3 Flosstube videos and showing all of her works, and oh, that girl has got some absolutely beautiful projects and a lot of speciality stitches, projects that she's done or is currently doing as well. I've been watching Pretty Southern and Big Apple Stitching, and then Sunshine Hev. She's only just made a few videos. Oh, she's doing a chatelaine called Mushroom and Fern, and oh my, oh, it's absolutely beautiful, and I just want to go buy that chart now. It's all Yellow House Crafts and Mischievous Stitcher, so I'm hoping to get through a few more. I have got a few that I am subscribed to, but I've not watched any yet. If anyone can recommend anyone else like that I should be watching by now, can you please just post a comment, because I would be really grateful. I don't want to miss out on watching anybody's Flosstube videos that I should be. Yet again, I've bought quite a lot this month. I'm gonna say insomniac shopping is a real thing. I posted something on my Instagram, and I seem not to be the only one who suffers with this, so I'll just go through it all. There is a lot, I will warn you. I picked up the new release from the Primitive Hair, Witches of Salem. I think this is really nice. I had a look on So at the dregs of their sale again. Picked up quite a few things. This wasn't in the sale though. This is Where There Are Bees by the Prairie Schooler. This is my first Prairie Schooler, and as you know, I love bees, so I couldn't help. And I've got the linen and the threads there. I picked up Elizabeth Newman Heffis, by Samplers Remembered. This is Springtime Says Hello by Waxing Moon Designs. It's got a little beehive on there. This is Birds and Blossoms by Homespun Elegance. And then I was really pleased that I managed to get this one because I wasn't able to get the Mercy Goodheart chart by Shakespeare's Peddler, but I did manage to get Elizabeth Mary Gandy by Shakespeare's Peddler, and I love this. I think it's really nice. Then I went and picked up Mary Gibson's 1824 sampler. This is Vonner's Fault. This is from the Hazelmere Museum in the UK. Anything for charity. I picked these up again from So and So in their sale. This is Feathering the Nest by Heart by Just Another Button Company. I've got the buttons in there as well. This is the Nebby Needle Fields of Clover. I think this is really pretty. Then I've got Modest Mildred by Jeanette Douglas. Prim Penny by Jeanette Douglas. This is Alphabet Annie, again by Jeanette Douglas. And Nimble Nettie by Jeanette Douglas. And What a Hoot, also by Jeanette Douglas. This is Tenenbaum Topiary by Drawn Thread. I think that's really pretty. This is Sarah Ann Kiddy 1860 by Samplers Not Forgotten. And this Sarah Steele 1772, and this is by Tree of Life Samplings. And this is Happy Acorn Harvest by Jeanette Douglas again. They were all in the sale, so I got them really cheaply, and I was also placing an order for some fabric, so it was rude not to. The day after I came back from New York, I obviously needed to go to my local L&S because I hadn't done any shopping for a week. So I picked up Away We Ride by Blackbird Designs. I also picked up some fabric from my L&S as well. This is a Witchelt fabric, or this is a perming fabric, and it's I'm not sure what the colour is because she doesn't have the names. She only goes by the numbers, but I do quite like the colour. But it actually feels a lot softer than the than any perming I've had in the past. So I don't know what that's about, but it feels really nice. My L&S is called Betty Stitch Kit, which is in Brierley Hill in the West Midlands. And I was flipping through all the patterns. She's got more kits than anything else, but she has got some charts on their own. But I saw this, which is Spring Patches by Homespun Elegance, and I thought, oh yeah, that's nice. And then I was looking in another area because they've just had a refurb, and she'd actually stitched this up, and I pulled it out, and oh, I loved it. So I needed to pick up the chart, and you could actually buy the pillowcase from a company, but she said it was about £20. And what she's actually going to do for me is sort out all the different fabrics and stitch them together for me, not into a pillow but just into a flat piece of fabric, and she's going to be able to do that for about £10 for me. But I just think it's really beautiful. I'll insert a picture of the one I took of hers. I'm not sure if it'll be any better than this, but there's all French knots and everything here, and I just really liked it. I picked up all of the threads. I picked up a few things from eBay, and this is a terrible picture, but this is the bee sampler by Madeira from about 1992, I think it is. But it includes the fabric and the threads. They're I think they're a lot brighter, but it's more speciality stitches on there, which is what I'd quite like to get into. Sorry about the glare. That was like £5. And I also picked up this one from the Sweetheart Tree. This is called Bumblebee Biscornu. Got the thread, fabric and the beads that go on it. I really quite like that. I also picked up from Little House Needleworks Forest Snowfall. I love this. I've been eyeing this up for ages, but then I watched Priscilla and Chelsea's video the other day and saw that they're going to be doing this as a winter stitch along on the 28th of December to start, so I was really pleased to have got my fabric and the speciality threads. I'm just waiting for the DMC to come. So I'm doing this on 32 count limestone. It's charted for a grey, but that's what I've got, so that's what I'm going to use. And I also picked up Jolly Happy Soul by With Thy Needle and Thread. This is because of Buckeye Stitcher. I love what she'd done with her, so I had to have it. But I think I might use a darker fabric than this one. I've got all the threads, but I just need to sort out my fabric. Right, these are front covers that I've made myself, but I went on Etsy to have a look round, and I picked up some patterns from, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. It's a Russian lady, and this is called the Bee Sampler. I'll insert some pictures because I think these are quite dark. I'm not sure how well they're going to show up, but I absolutely love that. She's got some other photos that show on her Etsy page closer up, and they're really delicate, but I will insert some more pictures. So I've got all of my threads, and I just need to sort out my fabric. And another one, this is the Halloween sampler by the same company. These are my own front covers. This picture is really dark, but I'll insert some other pictures from the Etsy site. This is from the same place. This is called Blooming Deer. I love this. There's the title. Blooming Deer. Well, this is the name of the lady whose Etsy store it is. I've got all my threads and fabric for that one. And then the last one from her is Summer Tenderness. And again, I love this. I think it's really pretty. But she's got some close-up pictures, and it shows just how intricate it is. And again, I've got all my threads and fabric. So picked up Strawberry Fields Forever by Blackbird Designs. I seem to be on a bit of a Blackbird Designs kick at the moment. I really love love their designs, but I've been eyeing this up for quite a while. And I think it was re-released because it was out of print for a while, but I think they just brought it back, I'm not quite sure. And then this one, I was really pleased to find this. This is the Tea Keeper by Kathy Barrack. And I absolutely love tea. I don't like coffee at all. I love the smell, but I hate the taste. So to find a tea chart, I had to have it. It's only small. It's 61 by 79. So it really amused me. I'm quite intrigued by Kathy Barrack designs. I think they're quite quirky and right up my street. So after watching Handmade on Flosstube, her videos, and looking at her Instagram, I was really quite inspired to try and find something that had speciality stitches. So I was looking around and I found Papillon Creations were doing a stitch along called 80 Stitches Around the World, and I thought, oh, that sounds good. Looked at people's pictures and absolutely beautiful. So I think I paid $2.99 to join, and then you get all of the charts. I think it was a once a week thing, I'm not sure, but I got the whole lot all at once. I didn't realise how big this chart would be. It's about an inch thick. But it's really loads of explanation along with the you know, the pattern in there as well. So that is why it is. And I did do it single-sided, so but I've got all of my my fabric, and I've decided just to do it in pinks and the greens, and you also need some beads, and there's some Krennic as well. I need to use another one, I think, I'm not sure. No, only one metallic thread, sorry. But I am trying to get down to the bottom of all my DMC collection that I bought from a lady off eBay, and I'm down to 2 tiny little boxes now. So I'm just trying to use up all of the dregs of it. So when I do not bobbinate at all, so when you do see my packs when they're bobbinated, that's from my that's from the lady who I bought the whole collection off. And then I've got bits from kits that I've had in the past. But if you see a skein, that's just me buying it, and I just can't be bothered to bobbinate. I've been looking for a while now at something to do in memory for my mum, and I've decided on Anniversaries of the Heart by Blackbird Designs. Now, I emailed Sue from the Peakside Needleworks to see if she would be able to order all of the floss for me, so I could have it all in one go, and she was so nice about it. She was like, yeah, absolutely no problem, didn't want me to pay a deposit or anything like that. She was just really nice, and I said I would like to have all the threads all together and then just have 1 or 2 charts once a month over the next year. So I got all of my threads last week, and there are absolutely loads of them. You can't really see. These are the threads for the first one, so that's why they're separated like that. But I absolutely love the colours, and I was really worried about the fabric to do them on, because I've got the first two charts. So this one is Snow Garden, and then I've got Valentine Rose. So I think on Snow Garden you can't see the white very well, and I've been really worried about choosing the right fabric, and I think it's quite hard in the UK to get Lakeside linen or R&R fabric. It is quite expensive, and I don't want to order from the Patchwork Rabbit for her to cut me a great big piece, but then it's not the right colour. So I've been doing a bit of research on, there's a Facebook page just for Anniversaries of the Heart, and then on Instagram I've been trying to search the right sort of fabric, and then but I did want something that was hand dyed, you know, that had just a bit of depth to it. And I was on So and So, and I saw I'd seen that they've got some of the week's Dye Works fabric in their sale still, so I ordered some, and it was straw, and I was like, oh, when it came, because the picture online was a little bit lighter than this, and I absolutely love the colour. I think it's beautiful. You can't see it here very well, the lighting is rubbish. It's really miserable day outside, so I've got the lights on here. I've got the main light on, so it's a bit, yeah, you can't really see, but it is, and I really like this fabric. I know a lot of people don't like Weeks Dye Works fabric, but I really like it. And then I was really shocked by how dark the colours were and how vibrant they were compared to the pictures that I've seen online, and I think it'll work quite well. There may be some colours that I might need to change, but I think on the whole I think it'll work. And I like it, that's the main thing, and yeah, I'll go from there. But what I'm not sure if I'm going to fill out the how you can dedicate this in your, or how you can personalise it, until I've stitched a few, because I don't just want it to be about my mum, but I want it to be a reflection on the year in general. I don't mean to keep going on about my mum, but this is quite important to me. But I'd like to also include people, not necessarily family, but my friends. My friends have really helped me this year, and I just want to reflect that in it. But that's just an idea that I've got, but I would like to do something like that. But I've tried to film this, talking about this Anniversaries of the Heart, for the last 2 videos, but I found it quite difficult without getting upset. But I feel alright about talking about it now, and now that I've got everything other than the charts, which Sue is also put in aside for me, so when I request them she can just send it straight out. She's so nice, and if you just email her, and if you've got a random question, she'll answer it straight away, and nothing's too much for her. I just highly recommend them, and they're really reasonable in price as well. This isn't a giveaway, but it is a giveaway, if that makes sense. But 2 of the charts that I have completed this year, the Sweetheart Tree and Bent Creek Snowblown, I'm done with these now. So if anybody would like them, if you just comment below with which one you would like, and then I'll do a random generator. This one, I've got no threads left, but I've got a few beads which I can include, but it also, the original one came with a little butterfly chart, which I've obviously used, but I think in my jewellery stash, because I like to do jewellery making, I've got some butterflies. I'll insert a picture here of one that I will include in it. I'm not saying it's exactly the same, I can't remember, but there will be some sort of butterfly, and that's just a Bent Creek Snowblown. And also going through my stuff, I've just come to the conclusion that I'm not ever going to be able to do, I'm never going to do this one, which is the Theron Traditions New England Schoolgirl Sampler. Yeah, there's just too much there's too much stitching there for me to know that I will realistically do that. So if anybody would like that, if you just comment below. And then this one, I picked this up in the So and So sale when I did a bunch of other things that I bought, and I didn't realise that the a sampler that I'd already bought had got the same design. I was never going to stitch like all these little things, but I was going to think about, I just bought it. It was just, you know, and it came with the the thread pack was also in the sale, but so-and-so emailed me to say that it was no longer in stock and they wouldn't be able to get it. So they sent me this, but I wouldn't have had one without the other. And I never bothered to return it. So if anybody would like this, if you just comment below. They've got a really nice alphabet, because if you look at the back, there's the what do they call it, Victorian purse, but then on the back they have initials for the back, so that I think that's really nice. So they have actually got a really nice alphabet for you to be able to stitch. But if anyone would like it, just comment below and I'll include your name, and do a random draw for anybody who's entered it. All I say is, if you only enter one, you can enter all of them, sorry, but if you win more than one, I will pass it on and go to the next person, so everybody gets just one each. Oh, then I went to a shop in Milton Keynes where my brother lives, when I went to see him, and it's called Threads and Patches. They did say they had a little bit of cross stitching stuff, but I think I picked up the only chart that they had, and it was Lavender Lace Noel, and it was £2 in the sale, and I bought it thinking somebody on Flosstube or a viewer would like it for £2. So if you would like this, just comment below and just say which chart you're interested in, and I will sort that out. If I say the closing date is the 30th of November, and I'll do a draw and then let you know. And if you could just be over 18, I'm not bothered if you're a subscriber or not. Yeah, I think that's it, and yeah, I think that's all I've got to talk about. I'm sorry though, lighting was so rubbish, but it's just really dark and miserable here, and I'm sorry I've got a cold and I sound really nasally and stuffily, but it was better that I just get a video done. So anyway, I will see you next time. Bye everyone.